If you follow this podcast at all, then you know that networking is one of my favorite topics to talk about because obviously in a career like the music industry, relationships are so important. So it's so important for you to learn how to network and build those relationships.
You know that we coming liars. I'ma keep praying to God, tell those little niggas stop it. Tell my mama that I got this. You know that we coming liars.
What's going on? It's Pimp Fried Rice. Welcome to the Music into Millions podcast, where we give independent rappers the tools and resources needed to be successful without waiting on a record label. Like I said, today we're going to be talking about networking, and I actually got 5 different tips for you guys to improve your networking and take it to the next level. So networking, like I said in the intro, is super important just for the fact that we're always building relationships in the music industry. Not even just in the music industry, but in life in general. It's so important because you're going to be dealing with people, whether it's through a computer screen or face-to-face or Zoom calls, I guess, with everything going on now that it is. But you're going to have to deal with people and you're going to have these interactions. So it's important for you to really just nail these networking skills and just build up that ability to build those relationships. And I'm going to give you guys, like I said, 5 tips on how to do that. So number 1 is to basically enter the conversation. And that is done by joining Facebook groups, by joining forums, by joining subreddits, basically anywhere that there's people talking about the thing that you're involved in. So, for example, if you're a rapper, join a bunch of Facebook groups that have to do with rappers or putting out their music or music promotion or even learning about the aspect of music. Like, there are plenty of Facebook groups that I'm in. Like, there's this one called MIDI Money, there's one called Music Entrepreneur Club. These are groups that basically, it's people inside of there that want to see each other succeed, they want to see each other grow, and so what they do is they, give helpful information, they ask questions, they basically just bounce ideas off of each other. But by getting involved in these conversations, you're basically putting yourself into the conversation. That means that you're making it known that you are out there. And listen, whenever you're on these forums, whenever you're on these Facebook groups, do not just spam people to check out your music. That is not what I'm talking about when I say enter the conversation. So if someone has a post on there and they're like, hey, I'm looking for, new tips and tricks on how to record better vocals at home. Do not hop on that post and be like, yo man, I record my stuff at home, so check out this song. That is not how you want to go about networking. That just is spammy and annoying and no one's going to want to talk to you. What you want to do is you actually want to get involved in the conversation. So if they're asking like, how do I record better vocals at home? If you know, let them know, like give them a couple tips. Or maybe you saw a great YouTube video that you could link them to. Send them the link. Because what you're doing is now this person is going to go check out that video or check out your tips, and they're going to start to realize like, yo, this person helped me out. And then the next time they post something, if you answer again, or if you comment, or if you help them out or send a link or refer them to someone, you're constantly giving this person advice and just conversations, and what you're doing is you're building that relationship. So that way, eventually down the road, you could be like, hey man, let's hop on a track together. Or hey man, I made a beat for you and I want you to use it, you know what I mean? So what you're doing is you're essentially building these relationships. You're not using it as an opportunity to promote your music. You're literally just putting yourself in the conversation and showing that you're either an expert or someone who's just, loves the field that you're in. And that can go for everything in the world. It doesn't just have to be for, rap group forums. It could be, anime, skateboarding, it could be sports, it could be video games, it could be art, it could be anything in the world. But join groups that basically you want to connect with the people in those groups. Number 2 kind of ties into number 1, and it's to help people in your network. So once you jump into these Facebook groups, you jump into these subreddits and these forums, you want to see how you can help people as much as possible, which kind of is like what I was saying with number 1. If they ask a question that you know the answer to, answer their question. If you have a video that you can link to them or a book that you could suggest to them, give them these suggestions, help them out with stuff. If, maybe you're a graphic artist and you could put together a cover for someone, help them out. Don't always expect something in return. Don't always expect that everything you do for people is also going to be reciprocated. Like, don't just do things because you're like, oh, if I do this for this person, they're going to do this for me. That is not the mentality you want to have when you're networking. I actually heard a quote. I was doing a little bit of reading today, and the quote said you want to be, I'm trying to remember the exact word. He said you want to be, I think it's like I forget the word that he used, but it was like you want to be extremely helpful. It was a different word than extremely. It was like a word that meant like over the top, because basically he's saying you want to provide so much value to someone that you're not even thinking about what am I going to get return. So that way when you do get something in return from this person, it is just like, it feels like a benefit, because you're not doing all these things because like, oh, like I said, if I do this for you, you're going to do it for me and vice versa. No. Help people out just to help people. If you see something small that you can do for someone, or if you see something that maybe you know the answer to, help them. Don't expect anything in return, because that is ultimately one of the best ways to build relationships. So that's what you want to do to all these things that I'm telling you right now are not a ways to promote your music. They're not a ways to get someone to feature with you. It's literally just about building a relationship, keeping that relationship, and just, establishing it further. So that is really important, is just to help people in your network in any way possible. And the more you start to help people, the more, one, people are going to see you as a person that helps other people, and they're going to look to you as an authority, look to you as an expert. And then also, you're going to get more people who know about you, because this person who you helped is going to be like, oh yeah man, this person helped me out, da-da-da-da-da. They're going to go check you out, or they're going to come back to your page, or they're going to hit you up. And then you're basically just opening the door for new relationships and new people for you to meet and to network with. The third way for you to expand your network and get really good at, networking is just to develop new relationships. So constantly we're meeting new people, whether it's on social media, in real life, over the phone. There's a bunch of different ways that you can meet new people, and that's awesome. Meeting new people is great. That's how you find new places. That's how you connect with people that you may never thought you were going to. But what you need to do is, instead of just like meeting this person, maybe helping them once and then kind of forgetting about it, you want to actually develop that relationship further. Start to talk to this person on a regular basis. Start to, whenever they post something, like that post, engage with that post, comment on it. Basically just show this person that you're interested in their life and you're interested in more than just what you can get out of the relationship. But constantly, any new relationship that you get, you want to constantly be working on developing it, because this person who you may have just met through like an Instagram comment could actually be an artist that is going to be blown up next year because of the way that they're navigating their fan base. And if you start to build that relationship and nurture it, they could also potentially, offer a platform for you. It could even end up at like they take you on tour whenever all these venues open back up. The possibilities are really endless. Just keep developing these new relationships. Don't just meet someone, have a one-time interaction, and be like, cool, networking, done, awesome. No, you want to keep building those relationships further. And the fourth tip, and this is a huge one, and actually one that I had to start really getting better at myself, is to keep working on old relationships. So there are plenty of people that you've met in the past that, because we either get busy or because we're meeting so many new people, we tend to forget to talk to them, we tend to forget to reach out to these people. And when those relationships fall to the wayside, you are losing a connection that you had with a person. And that, like I said, every person essentially is another key to an open door. So basically each person, and now you don't want to look at people like, oh, how can I use you? Or how can I, what can I get out of this situation? But you got to realize everybody knows different people. Everybody has been in different situations. So by you meeting as many people as possible, connecting with as many people as possible, and building those relationships, you're essentially opening as many doors as you can for yourself to allow opportunity to knock. And so develop the new relationships, but also nurture the old relationships. Even if that means, once a month, just going out to 10 people in your phone, or 50 people, depending how much time you have. Just hit them up like, hey man, how you been? It's been a year or two since I've talked to you. I just wanted to check in, see how you were doing. I'm doing great. Let me know. And then just, reach out to these people. Have that relationship going. And it doesn't have to be a you talk to every single person every day type of thing. That can get overwhelming. That can get really hard to deal with. But just keep all your relationships going and periodically reach out to people from time to time. It will keep your network so much bigger. And the final tip, and probably the most important tip if you want to take your networking game and your music to the next level, is to go to musicalmarketing.com. Now, I put together this course for independent rappers just like yourself who want to get better at networking, who want to get better at marketing their music, promoting their music, posting about their stuff on social media, all this stuff like that. And for the artists that want to get better, this course literally takes you step by step through 6 easy to follow videos on how to basically establish your brand, figure out who you're going to be marketing your music to. It talks about how to network with these people, how to post on social media, how to have merchandise, a podcast, how to set up a YouTube channel, how to run email lists, all different types of stuff like this that's really just going to take your music and your marketing to the next level. Because you could have the greatest music in the world, but if you don't know how to promote your music or market your music or network with people, that music is probably just going to be stuck on a hard drive or with like 10 plays on SoundCloud. And I don't want that to happen for you. I want you to be as wildly successful as you can be. And with all these things put into practice, you will start to see your music and your fan base just go to the next level. So I dropped a link down below in the description if you guys want to hit that to take your music to the next level. Make sure you guys like this video, subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, that way you can be notified whenever we drop gems like this one. Have a great rest of your day. Peace.
I